Yes.
George Adanasso.
Yeah. So, hi everybody, my name is George. I have a few slides about myself. I'm a mechanical engineer, so pretty much everything I talk about communication is probably wrong. I've been working in Design Factory since the very beginning in 2008, and I've been responsible for a lot of the visuals we have here because no one else was doing it. But I understand, I'm a very techie guy, so I understand a lot of networking stuff, done a lot of the digital signage in here in Design Factory, also in Alto, more network stuff. I also helped the researchers with, creating documentation and research tools for their day-to-day working. And I also am a photographer. I actually do that professionally. And I also shoot videos. I've removed the sound, but just sort of, making stuff, making visual stuff. Today, I was, this is just goofing around at work. But, so essentially what I wanted to talk a little bit about today is, I want to go into something very specific. And I wanted to talk about these, here we go. I don't know why it skipped that. There you go. I wanted to talk about advertisement, and in advertisement I'll go in deeper in what is a demo and why sort of demo is important. But this is there's a thing called the Gunn Awards. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It's like the Oscars of advertisements, right? So there's 12 types of advertisement. This is, by the way, super old shit, so I'm actually not teaching you anything new. But there's essentially 12 categories of advertisements. And I'm just going to show you, just for the biggest cliche, for instance, what is a comparison advertisement. So here's probably something you've heard.
Hello, I'm a Mac.
And I'm a PC.
I'm into doing fun stuff like movies, music, podcasts, stuff like that.
I also do fun stuff like timesheets and spreadsheets and pie charts.
Okay, by fun I mean more in terms of, for example, it'd be kind of hard to capture a family vacation, say, with a pie chart,
Not true.
No?
For example, this light gray area could represent hangout time, whereas this dark gray area could represent just kicking it.
Yeah, no, I feel like I was there.
Great. So that's kind of very, that's why you got a marketing agency, put some humor in it. But essentially it's a comparison. Let's go to, I'll show you quickly also what a demo is. And this is, I've actually picked up this specifically because it's a weird demo.
Cosmolight Cube Light, the strongest and lightest Samsonite ever, thanks to curved technology.
So a very expensive way to show curved technology of Samsonite, but still, nevertheless, a demo. And the reason I want to emphasize demos so much is because I want to talk about crowdfunding. Because there's, especially where we live now, it's a very hot spot for startups, and generally startups, especially technological startups. And a lot of the startups, they make a product and then usually they need to communicate that through video most commonly. And I actually did my bachelor thesis, what do you know? And I found this relatively interesting research that was specific to Kickstarter. You guys know what Kickstarter is? Yeah, all right, cool.
No.
No, all right, cool. No, that's not cool. You should know. It's
I know.
yeah, I know you know. It's a website where you can make a project and then you can ask people for money, and if they give you enough money, then you make the project. And
Essentially,
essentially,
it means that you can buy something that doesn't exist.
exactly, you can buy something that doesn't exist. So essentially, through your communication, you have to convey integrity, you have to convey, technical ability, you have to convey to people that you know your shit and you're gonna make up whatever they want, at least what you're saying that you're gonna make. So video, of course, is, like you see from the statistics, 80%, and that's probably even higher nowadays. I don't even know I've never seen a project on Kickstarter without a video, or an Indiegogo. Indiegogo is the same thing, just different website. Essentially what I wanted to see is sort of what kind of videos are successful on Kickstarter, because a lot of them, most of the videos that are made on Kickstarter are not actually made by professionals, or at least they're not made, when you make a video or make a film or whatever, there's a professional workflow that goes to it, from idea generation to production to editing to distribution. And you might have, for instance, a professional cameraman shooting the video, right, or a professional audio recordist, but you might not actually have a marketing agency figuring out what the hell you want to say in the video. So in that way, Kickstarter videos are very run and gun. They're just made. And I was sort of interested to find if there's some sort of specific things that sort of correlate with the success of the campaign. Let's see what I have here. I wanted to, so yeah, Glyph, for instance, Studio Neat's Glyph is very, very traditional demo video. I was successful. They have several successful Kickstarter campaigns. So let's look at a traditional demo video.
This is the Glyph. It's a tripod mount for smartphones, and it's got a brand new design. The quick release lever makes it easy to take your device in and out of the Glyph. When the lever is closed, it automatically tightens around your device for a super secure fit, like really secure, stupid secure. The adjustable fit means you can use any size smartphone with or without a case. And what's this? It's another tripod mount. Now you can mount your device in landscape or portrait. There are actually 3 tripod mounts in total in the Glyph, which means it's extendable. Add a light, add a microphone. It's the most compact mobile rig on the market. Along with the new Glyph, there's a new hand grip and a wrist strap as well. The hand grip is milled from solid cherry.
How many of you are bored? Are you interested? Why?
Yeah, I'm interested in the topic, but this video, I think, is not good about marketing video.
I wasn't actually asking you, but I was asking Kurt, but
Okay.
that's okay.
Sorry.
No, that's okay, you continue. Yeah, why isn't that good?
I need possibilities you see what I do now.
Yeah?
So to have flexibility.
Okay. Why wasn't it interesting for you? Sorry, this Sir Andex. You put your hand up when I said
Why
bored.
was it interesting?
Yeah.
Well, it's boring. White background just features the product, but not actually reflects any emotions. It's dry.
Okay, great. That's good that you said emotions. All right. So point being, you're both right. That's what sort of the study shows. Both of you are right, but you just don't need the fucking Glyph, and you do. And if you do need the Glyph, you actually would watch, and you said possibilities. You said it's boring. For him, it's like, ooh, I can hold my camera like this, and I can throw it in the air. Wow, the possibilities, the innovation. And it's even cherry wood. So, because we've been taught, at an advertisement that you always should wow and you should grab attention, and that's bullshit. If you know your audience, and if you can direct your video to a specific audience, then I'm willing to watch a 30-minute video about camera and its buttons because I care. But it doesn't mean that might be the most interesting video for me today, even better than Star Wars, believe me. But for you, because you're just wrong. So in a way, and I'm not gonna show you the whole thing. That's what actually I found out. That's what actually was, there's this thing called elaboration likelihood method, which is essentially a way of persuasion. So we can persuade people by two ways. Your way was the central route. Show me what the hell the product can do. And if it's relevant to me, I'll be interested. And the peripheral route, which is, show me emotion. Who's making the glyph? Are you changing the world by providing, good opportunities for young Philippine workers who are assembling the thing? So they're both right. You just have to sort of figure out which one you prefer to go for. So a video in itself also has central and peripheral values. And I'm now talking technically about the video that you made. So central routes would be, is the quality good? Is the sound good? And these things are sort of how long it is, like some people said that might say it's too long, it's too boring, or whatever. But boring is not actually right. And these things need to be checked. I mean, if you make a really shitty looking video with really, really bad sound, and I'm not talking full HD versus 4K resolution, I'm just talking clarity when it comes to image. And I'm talking about clarity when it comes to sound. So you need to have these things in check. But then stuff like humor, story complexity, these are the more difficult parts of a video, right? How do you know a video is funny? Like on scale to 10, how funny was the Samsung commercial compared to, Apple's commercial? I mean, or what was the complexity of the story in those two? And that one is a little bit more tricky, right? Especially if you're not a professional, script writer, or if, for instance, if you not a very funny person, So what the study found, and this is with 3,000 participants, with over 200. So there was 3,000 people that were asked to watch over 200 videos. There were 3 product categories. The categories were from technology, design, and fashion. And as you can see, the audio video quality had an immense impact in all 3 categories. So no matter if you're making a technological product, a design product, or a fashion product, the quality of the video plays a big role. However, I would really take this with a grain of salt, because remember, these are Kickstarter videos, so probably some of them are really utterly shit, right? So it doesn't mean that you have to have a 50,000 euro camera with a 2K euro per hour crew shooting. It just means that you have to have decent audio and video quality. But then another thing that, for instance, has relatively small effect is the complexity of story. So product-related factors is what actually made it most interesting for me, because if you see a technological part is so much higher. So if you have, so what this basically means is that if you have a technological product that has features, then show the goddamn features, and don't go on about, story complexity. Don't make it, so in that way, the glyph video is a great example, because it just shows you what it does in 1 hour, 1 minute and 20 seconds, and then you're done with it. And basically, point being, if you have a highly technological or technological product, the safest bet would be to make a demo video that is sufficiently funny, sufficiently efficient time-wise, and has good audio and video quality. So that's essentially what I learned. But now, if your product is more crafts-related or more, design-oriented, then actually the story and the complexity might have a stronger benefit. Imagine like if you're doing wine, it would be very difficult to maybe do a video like a glyph about, a new type of wine. Or then it might be actually quite refreshing. I don't know. So with basically you have to ask yourself these 3 questions. Who's your public? Because if you do really know your public and you know how to get the video across to them, you probably can get away with a lot simpler production, a lot more targeted production. yeah, you have to know what your product is, and then can you actually